Welcome back to the deep dive. We have a really interesting stack of sources today.
We really do.
Yeah, at first glance, it might look like we're just, recapping a TV show. We're looking at the premiere entry of the Miss Quita Gurl show.
Specifically, the episode titled New City, New Drama.
Right. And here's the thing, and this is why we pick it. On the surface, this reads like a classic fish out of water narrative.
Oh, totally. Big city girl moves to new town.
Exactly. But when you actually peel back the layers, which is what we are here to do today, it's a surprisingly dense case study.
It's packed.
It is. It's this deep look at organizational behavior, the psychology of relocation, and really high-stakes office politics.
It almost feels deceptive how much they packed into this one narrative arc. I mean, you're looking at Quita Lewis, right? A New York native who is basically uprooting her entire existence to move to Chicago.
Yeah.
And we should be really clear here. This isn't just a change of scenery. It's not a lateral move.
No, not at all.
She is taking on a massive, high-pressure role as the director of new product development at M&G Artificial Intelligence.
And that artificial intelligence part is key, right? Because M&G isn't just some sleepy regional paper company. This is high tech, it's high stakes, and presumably high ego.
But absolutely high ego.
So the premise is basically new kid in town, but the kid is a C-suite executive, and the town is a complete Shark Tank.
A Shark Tank with very nice glass elevators.
Exactly. So our mission for you today is to decode the first impressions of the people she meets at M&G Towers. We want to analyze the social hierarchy that gets established literally in the lobby and try to predict where the friction is going to come from before the big rooftop party.
Which is a great mission, because the core theme running through this entire narrative is new beginnings versus old habits.
Right.
Think about it. When you move to a new city, you bring your ambition, your new me energy. You've got the fresh haircut, the new suit.
You're ready to conquer the world.
Exactly. But you are walking into an ecosystem that already exists. M&G Towers isn't a blank slate. It's a stage where the actors have already memorized their lines for years.
Yeah, Quita is essentially the improv artist trying to disrupt a scripted play.
I really like that analogy.
Let's start where the source material starts, with the arrival. Quita is driving down Lakeshore Drive. Now, even if you have never been to Chicago, the text paints a very specific, almost romantic picture here.
It does.
She describes the golden light bouncing off the glass towers, the skyline. She actually calls it everything I imagined and more.
That imagery is vital. It establishes what environmental psychologists call place attachment, and she does it before she even steps out of the car.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she mentions feeling the electric buzz of a fresh start. But the most telling detail for me, the one that really flags her mindset, was the specific metaphor she uses for her new workplace.
The launch pad.
Yes. She calls M&G Towers her launch pad.
Launch pad is such an aggressive word. I mean, it's not a home. It's not even an office. It's a tool.
It signals pure instrumentality. She isn't there to settle down. She's there to blast off. She explicitly says, new city, new vibes, new me. And she describes herself as having eyes sparkling with ambition and a little mischief.
Okay, hold on. Let's pause on mischief for a second.
Yeah.
Because that feels like a really risky trait for a new director of product development. Usually you want to project stability, not mischief. Is she overplaying her hand before she even swipes her security badge?
Well, that is the tension of the whole episode. Mischief, in this context, implies disruption. She isn't there to maintain the status quo at M&G. She's there to innovate.
To shake things up.
Exactly. She says she wants to shake things up a little. And in the world of AI product development, if you aren't shaking things up, you're obsolete.
Right. Professionally, it makes sense.
But socially, shaking things up is basically a declaration of war against the people who are currently comfortable.
You're threatening the existing comfort zone. You're moving everyone's shoes before you've even properly introduced yourself. But before we get to the lions in the building, and there are lions, we have to mention her safety net. She has Erica.
The safe harbor archetype, which is crucial for any relocation narrative.
Erica is literally waiting for her with a welcome sign. The text really emphasizes that Erica is the only reason Quita is staying sane during this massive transition.
It's so true.
It's interesting how we always need that one secure attachment point before we can explore a new environment. It's like establishing base camp before you try to summit Everest.
It's standard attachment theory. You cannot explore the unknown without a secure base to return to. Erica is the bridge between the old New York Quita and the new Chicago Quita.
Right.
But notice how quickly that safety net vanishes. When she steps past Erica and walks into that M&G lobby, she's completely on her own. And the cast of characters she meets, it is an absolute masterclass in diverse first impressions.
It's a huge spectrum. You have reactions ranging from total infatuation to immediate icy hostility.
Let's look at the welcome wagon first.
Yeah, let's break down Gregory. Now, on the surface, he just seems like a funny guy.
Gregory is fascinating. He describes himself as the neighborhood amateur comedian, and he runs a McLaren automotive shop nearby.
Okay, so he's a car guy, but he's not selling used Hondas. He's dealing with McLarens.
Very high-end.
That implies he's used to dealing with high-status, wealthy individuals. He probably sees tech CEOs all day long, but his reaction to Quita is surprisingly subservient.
It really is.
He calls her beautiful and intelligent and explicitly says he wants to be in her court.
In her court, he immediately frames her as royalty. In sociology, we would look at this through the lens of the jester role.
The jester, like the guy in the medieval hat with the bells?
Exactly like that. Think about the function of a jester in a medieval court. Who was the only person allowed to speak truth to power without getting beheaded?
The jester.
Right. Gregory uses humor as a social lubricant. He openly admits he's loaded with dad jokes. He says, "My mission now, keep her laughing with these killer dad jokes I've got stashed."
And he even makes it transactional. He literally says, just don't expect me to fix your ride unless you laugh at my punchlines.
It's a very bold move for a first meeting.
Laugh at my bad jokes or no car repair.
It is bold, but it's fundamentally a defense mechanism. Self-deprecating humor or cringe dad jokes lowers the temperature in the room. It signals to the alpha that I am not a threat, I am just here to entertain.
Ah, I see.
Gregory is trying to secure his safety in this new social hierarchy by being the guy who makes the powerful new director laugh. He's betting on likability over competence. He knows if he can make the queen laugh, he's safe.
It's so interesting because it actually works on Quita. She seems really charmed by it.
She does.
But then you contrast that interaction with Reese. Reese brings a totally different energy. He isn't trying to make her laugh at all.
Night and day difference. Reese manages high-end social media talent. He is entirely in the business of optics, image, and branding.
His first impression of Quita isn't about her personality or her court. It's entirely about her visual data. He clocks her shoes immediately. He says, "Yo, Kia, those kicks you got on are straight fire."
This is a classic example of signaling theory. Reese values style and confidence because, in his world, those are proxies for competence.
Right. If you look the part, you are the part.
Exactly. He notes that she is owning the room like a boss and maintains great eye contact. He isn't really listening to what she says. He's watching how she carries herself.
So while Gregory is trying to serve the queen, Reese is trying to...
Partner with her.
Yeah, partner with her.
Reese is seeking a peer. He says, let's make this moment legendary. He sees Quita as someone who understands the game of status just like he does. He's not looking for a boss. He is looking for a collaborator. He explicitly says he is low-key excited to steal some tips from her.
Steal some tips. That implies a mutual appreciation. It's a relationship built entirely on the flex.
Right. Gregory offers service. Reese offers alliance. Both are positive interactions, but they serve very different psychological needs for Quita. One makes her feel liked. The other makes her feel respected.
Okay, so those are the people rolling out the red carpet. But every story needs an antagonist. You cannot have new drama without someone actually bringing the drama.
And the source material gives us a very clear one.
Enter Becky.
Ah, Becky. The resistance.
The vibe shift in the text when Becky is introduced is palpable. It is like the temperature in the room just drops 10 degrees. Even the other characters notice it. Caleb mentions that everyone seemed chill, except Becky.
She is not hiding it.
No. Quita describes her as having queen of the castle vibes, being spoiled, and protective of her turf.
That word turf is the key to her whole character. We are dealing with territoriality. When you look at Becky's internal monologue, the little confessional moment, you see the pure psychology of a threat response.
She is not happy about Quita's arrival. But she doesn't just come out and say, I hate her. It's much more nuanced. She tries to rationalize her dislike.
She does. She admits, somewhat grudgingly, that Quita has gorgeous curls. She says, I wish I could get curls like that. But then, and this is the pivot, she immediately dismisses her. She says, she's okay, I suppose, but nothing to brag about.
It's the classic, she's not all that defense.
It's actually called derogation of the competitor. She actively questions the hype. She says she was trying to figure out the hype specifically so she could dismantle it. She even throws a little shade, suggesting maybe Quita's just good at working the elevator doors.
Ouch. That is so petty. Good at working the elevator doors. She's implying Quita has no actual talent, that she's just an empty suit who got lucky.
Precisely. But we really have to ask why. Becky isn't reacting to Quita the person. She hasn't even gotten to know her yet. They haven't worked on a single project together.
Right, it's day one.
She is reacting to the idea of Quita. Quita's the new director. She is the new queen people are whispering about. Becky, who is used to being the queen of the castle, senses a usurper. It is pure status anxiety.
So it's a zero-sum game for Becky. If Quita shines, Becky fades.
In Becky's mind, yes, absolutely. While Gregory tries to align with the new power and Reese tries to mirror it, Becky tries to negate it. She's just trying to lower Quita's market value to preserve her own. She's essentially trying to short sell Quita's stock before the market even opens.
Which is a really dangerous game to play with a C-suite executive. If Quita figures that out, Becky's going to be in trouble. But then there is one person who doesn't seem to care about status or shoes or turf at all.
Caleb.
Caleb.
The wild card. I love the Caleb dynamic because he represents the outlier data point in this whole social experiment.
Caleb runs the elite card trading shop in the building, which is already a cool detail. It implies he deals in niche, high-value collectibles. But his head is nowhere near office politics. He is in a completely different crisis mode.
He is the distracted neighbor.
Yeah.
His first impression of Quita is barely an impression at all because of unintentional blindness. He literally cannot see the social dynamics because his brain is fully occupied by one thing.
His missing dog, Mr. Vassar. We really have to talk about the description of this dog. Caleb calls him a sneaky doctrine.
Which is such a bizarre and wonderful phrase. Sneaky doctrine.
I mean, what does that even mean? Is it a typo for dachshund?
Contextually, it almost certainly implies a dachshund. Doctrine sounds like dachshund, but calling him a doctrine personifies the dog as this philosophical agent of chaos, like he has a literal manifesto of trouble.
A sneaky doctrine running loose in a high-tech AI building. Caleb is convinced this dog is currently eating the whole building or has swiped treats and is hiding somewhere.
Because of this distraction, Caleb is the only one completely immune to Quita's aura. He doesn't see the queen, and he doesn't see the threat. He just sees a blurry figure in the hallway. When asked for his impression, he just says, "Oh, Quita? Yeah, she seems solid. That's it."
She seems solid. That is the most neutral, grounded assessment in the whole group.
And honestly, it's probably the most refreshing for Quita. Quita even calls the situation next-level goofiness. She spots that beneath the chaos of losing the dog, Caleb is probably a total sweetheart.
Yeah.
He represents a potential authentic connection because he wants absolutely nothing from her. He doesn't want her patronage like Gregory, her style tips like Reese, or her failure like Becky. He just wants his dog back.
It creates this amazing social soup, doesn't it? You have the sycophants, the stylist, the rival, and the guy who just wants to find his dog.
It's a microcosm of any real office.
Yeah.
And this all comes to a head as they prepare for the rooftop party. This is the narrative climax of the premiere.
The convergence.
Exactly.
The rooftop party. This is where all these separate plot lines just collide. The text mentions the preparations are intense. We actually have two more characters entering the mix here, Melinda and Roberto.
Melinda represents the enthusiastic adopter. She says, it's going to be lit. She sees Quita as the real deal. She's pure hype. She's the cheerleader every product launch needs.
And then Roberto, the Brazilian charmer.
Roberto brings a chaotic, romantic energy that complicates things even further. He talks about his good hair and claims he causes hot flashes.
He actually says, it's my natural Brazilian that makes them go crazy. The confidence is just off the charts. But does this romantic energy distract from the professional dynamic they're building?
It adds volatility. You have Roberto's flirtation, Gregory's jokes, Reese's coolness, and in the middle of it all, this lingering heavy tension with Becky. It is a powder keg.
There is a really interesting line about the invitations for this party, isn't there? It highlights the office politics perfectly.
Yes. Someone mentions, I guess we can be nice and invite Becky to the festivities.
I guess we can be nice. That implies the group knows exactly what's going on.
It proves the group is highly aware of the friction. They know Becky is the outlier here, the one who isn't on board with the Miss Gurl program. But they are trying to maintain social cohesion. It's what we call forced inclusion.
It's that classic office moment where you have to invite the person who hates you because not inviting them causes way more drama than actually inviting them. It's a double bind.
Exactly. If you exclude her, you validate her victimhood. If you include her, you risk her poisoning the well at the party. Quita's walking right into that trap.
Yeah.
She lists them off at the end of the day. Becky's fire, Gregory's jokes, Reese's style, Caleb's charm, Melinda's grace, Erica's loyalty, and Roberto's vibe. She realizes she has inherited a family, dysfunctional as it may be.
And let's not forget little Mr. Vassar, the cutest troublemaker. I love that even the missing dog essentially gets an invite to the narrative. So let's zoom out for a second. What does this all mean for you as a listener?
We've got this high-powered executive, Quita, who has conquered New York, coming to Chicago to shake things up. She views M&G Towers as her launch pad. But as we've seen, the launch pad is populated by people who have their own distinct agendas.
That is the core conflict of any leadership transition. Quita thinks she is the protagonist who will change the setting. But the setting, the social ecosystem of M&G Towers, is a powerful homeostatic force. It wants to stay the same.
It's almost like physics. She's bringing the force of new vibes, but Becky represents the inertia of old habits. Correct. And typically in these scenarios, the new disrupts the old, but the old also modifies the new. Quita will change the dynamic at M&G, sure, she's the boss.
Right.
But dealing with Gregory's constant need for validation, Reese's high standards, and Becky's active hostility is going to change Quita too. She can't just be the director of new product development. She has to become a diplomat, a therapist for Caleb, and a rival for Becky.
It's fascinating that her job title is new product development, but her actual challenge is new people management.
That is always the case. The technical work, the AI, the strategy, the coding, that's the easy part. The hard part is navigating the fact that the guy in the elevator wants you to laugh at his bad jokes, the woman down the hall thinks you're overrated, and the guy next door is looking for a dog named Sneaky Doctor.
I really, really hope they find Mr. Vassar. I feel like that dog is a perfect metaphor for the chaos she just can't control.
I think Mr. Vassar is going to be a recurring symbol of the unpredictable variables in this building. No matter how much you plan your corporate launch, sometimes there's a dachshund loose in the lobby.
Yeah.
You can have the best AI strategy in the world, but if the dog eats the Ethernet cable, you're done.
That is a terrifying thought for any executive. So if you're listening to this and you're stepping into a new role or moving to a new city, take a page out of Quita's book. Don't just look at the job description. Look at the people around you. Recognize the archetypes early.
Exactly. Identify your Erica, your safe harbor. Spot your Gregory, the person who uses humor to connect, even if it's a little cringe. Respect your Reese, the person who values the visual game and status. And keep a very close eye on your Becky.
Because Becky is definitely watching you.
She is watching the hype, waiting to see if it's real. And remember, Becky isn't necessarily evil, she's fearful.
Right.
Understanding that fear gives you leverage. If you can alleviate her status anxiety, you might actually turn a rival into an ally. But that takes serious work.
And honestly, maybe give the Calebs of the world a break. They're just distracted.
They just miss their dog.
Exactly. So Quita has physically relocated. She's in the apartment. She's seen the skyline. But the social relocation, that is just beginning.
The physical move is just a logistics problem. The social move is an anthropological challenge. And as Quita says in the text, the best is yet to come. She is ready to turn dreams into reality, but reality involves navigating these very distinct, very loud personalities.
It raises a big question for all of us to chew on, doesn't it? When you start a new chapter like Quita, are you shaping your environment, or is the environment and its established players like Becky inevitably going to shape you?
That is the push and pull of every fresh start. You want to be the new me, but the world often wants to put you right back into an old box. The success of Quita's transition will ultimately depend on whether she can break that box without breaking the relationships she needs to survive.
Something to think about the next time you walk into a brand new room. We'll be tracking Quita, the M&G team, and hopefully the location of Mr. Vassar in our next deep dive. Thanks for listening.
See you next time.